If you're over 40 and you're waking up puffy, inflamed, or bloated, even though you're eating clean and doing all the right things, then this video is for you. Look, you're doing everything right. You're eating the salads, you're drinking the smoothies, you're flipping in those healthy swaps, and maybe you've even cut out gluten and dairy and sugar just to see if it would help. And yet, your jeans are tight by noon, your face looks puffy in pictures, and the energy, yeah, it's just gone. And the common advice says it's just part of getting older, or that you even need to eat cleaner or try some sort of elimination plan. But honestly, the truth, bloating and inflammation after 40 isn't just about what you're eating, it's also about how your body's changing. Your metabolism and your hormones and your stress level, even your digestion, they're not the same as they were 10 years ago. And if you're a busy mom like me, then trying to juggle everyone else's schedule while you're still wondering why your body feels foreign, then you're not alone. I'm a certified health coach and I guide women through sustainable fat loss and wellness strategies that actually work in real life, and I've lived it. So, in this video, I am going to walk you through what's actually happening in your body and after 40, and here's why. So, most women in this season start to feel like their body is betraying them because you're eating healthier than ever, maybe, and you're starting to work out, or maybe you're coming back to work out. And somehow you feel worse because the bloating and the heaviness and that inflammation that seems to just show up overnight. Yeah, well, here's the thing, it's not about what you're eating, it's about what's changing inside your body and why the rules that you followed in your 30s just don't work anymore. Because after 40, your hormones start shifting, and maybe they started late in your 30s, and your metabolism slows, and your stress response gets louder, and you get snappier, easier, right? And your body just needs a different approach if you want to feel good again. And so, look, I followed all of these healthy rules. I was eating clean, but I still felt inflamed and uncomfortable in my clothes and exhausted all the time. So, what changed for me is understanding how to work with my body. And what I now have is my three-part system: macros, movement, and strategy. And in this video, I'm going to break down the real reasons that you feel bloated and what's going on. So, if you've been nodding along and you're like, oh, yeah, this is definitely me, then I want you to go ahead and grab my free guide, Break Free from Dieting. It's going to show you 3 simple hormone supportive shifts that help you reduce bloating and inflammation without cutting everything out. The link is below. So, let's talk about what's actually going on in your body, because that bloat that you're feeling, it's not just about food. Because after 40, a few key shifts start happening behind the scenes, and they're stacking up quietly in the background. So, first, your estrogen starts to decline. And this impacts everything from your digestion to your ability to sleep to how your body holds on to water and fat. And it's one of the reasons that you probably feel like you're retaining everything, even when your habits haven't changed. Also, your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, often ramps up, right? And here's that kicker: the chronic stress can lead to inflammation, especially around your belly. And I know, like, we're moms, and so stress is inevitable, but even something as small as skipping lunch because you were taking the kids to, their soccer practice, or running around for camp drop-offs in the summer, or, a work meeting, right? Or maybe you're squeezing in a workout on 5 hours of sleep. Those things can send your cortisol levels through the roof. And high cortisol, it tells your body to hold on to fat and fluid, which makes you puffy. Okay. Third, you're also likely losing muscle, especially if you're not strength training, because less muscle equals slower metabolism, which equals your body has to work harder to do basic things. So when your metabolism slows, digestion slows too, which often leads to bloating. And by the time most women hit their mid 40s, they've started to lose up to 10 to 15% of their lean muscle mass without even realizing it. Not because they weren't trying, but because no one told them that they needed to shift their approach. So here's what we're not talking about. You didn't wake up one day just bloated and inflamed. It happened slowly, somewhere between packing school lunches, late night goldfish crumbs, and skipping dinner because the kids already ate. And that's not a willpower issue, right? You are trying, but it's more of a strategy issue. And so here's where most women, especially busy moms, get stuck. You are trying, you are doing the right things. Maybe you're reading labels and you're learning how to do that. Maybe you're eating more salads and you're skipping snacks and avoiding carbs and maybe even sneaking in cardio when the house is quiet, but you still wake up bloated and you feel inflamed and your clothes don't fit the way that they used to. So naturally, you must be thinking, oh, shoot, I guess I'm not doing enough. But what if it's not about doing more? And what if it's about doing something different? So let's talk about where some things go sideways, okay? First, clean eating without enough fuel. The term clean eating is, catching more and more, but it's really making sure that you're getting the right foods. Because a salad with grilled chicken sounds healthy, but if there's not enough carbs or fat, your body stays hungry, stressed, and inflamed. So that's why when at 3 o'clock, when you're like ready to be done with work or your kids are coming home from school, you're exhausted and you're crabby because that's your blood sugar starting to tank. Okay, those low-calorie snacks that you're eating and those healthy bars, like a 100-calorie pack is not going to help your hormones or your hunger. And we were taught to think that those 100-calorie packs were healthy, but most of those snacks are loaded with artificial sweeteners or inflammatory oils, and those are the things that your body sees as stressors. And look, another thing, long cardio sessions without the fuel to match. Look, I love movement and it is super important, especially in the method that I teach, but pushing yourself through a 45-minute treadmill run on no sleep and half a banana, like that is big time depletion and you're not taking care of yourself. And it's hard to say, but look, you don't need to earn your food. You need to support your body. And look, I get it. You're not doing these things because you want to feel worse. You're doing them because the wellness world told you that this is what healthy looks like. But you're just working off advice that wasn't built for a busy mom in her 40s who's got 5,000 things going on and a million tabs open in her head. So let me ask you something. What's been your most frustrating part of all this? Is it the bloating itself, waking up feeling swollen before the day even starts? Is it your clothes don't fit the way that they used to, no matter how good you're being? Or is it that no one's really ever explained what's actually happening in your body? I want you to tell me in the comments because the more we talk about this stuff, the real stuff, the less isolated we all feel. And I promise you are not alone in this. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about what actually does work, okay? Because here's the truth. You don't need another food list or a cleanse or a set of rules. You want this plan that's going to be sustainable for your 40-something mom life body and beyond. When we're 50, when we're 60, right? When we become grandparents. And this is where my 3-part method comes in. Macros, movement, and strategy. Okay? Macros. It's not as scary as you sound, okay? I used to think that, but I promise you it's not. Because we're not counting every single calorie or obsessing over every single bite. We are looking at balance. How much protein you're eating, how your carbs and your fats are supporting your energy, your hormones, and your digestion. Because most of the women that I coach are not overeating, they're actually underfueling. And undereating doesn't lead to weight loss, it actually leads to stress and bloating and burnout. So the second part of my method is movement. And we focus on muscle building through short, effective strength workouts and not punishing cardio marathons, okay? Muscle is your metabolism's best friend. And when you start strength training consistently, 30 minutes, 3 days a week, you start feeling stronger, leaner, and less inflamed. And it's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters and how you do it consistently. And then the third part of my method is strategy. And this is honestly what most people miss because we bring it all together in a real life rhythm with tools like intermittent fasting and carb cycling and food quality swaps that actually fit into your week. So it's not about perfection. It's about that progress that's going to lead to the consistency that's going to support your lifestyle for years and years to come. And this is the method that I teach inside my coaching program. It's not magic, but it's working with your body instead of fighting against it. So if you've been feeling just puffy and bloated and not like yourself, please hear me when I say this. You're not failing and you're not making it up, and you don't need to do more or shrink yourself to feel better, but you do need a strategy that actually is working for this season of life. And that's what this Break Free from Dieting guide is all about. It will show you 3 simple, powerful shifts to reduce your bloating, lower your inflammation, and start moving your body toward energy and ease and not exhaustion and restriction. You can grab it below and look, come back to it when life gets messy because there's no rules, just relief. And in the next video, I am going to show you exactly what I'd eat to do this week if you want to feel less inflamed fast without giving up the foods that you love or spending hours in the kitchen. Because you're not going to overhaul your life overnight, but you do need to start somewhere. So I'll see you there.